Beautiful. Alô a todos, meu nome é Alcides Carlos, sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um episódio do Talking Jazz. Encontro-me ainda na Dinamarca, em Copenhaga, e hoje trago aqui um amigo muito especial, guitarrista, cantor e compositor, Jackson Wahengo. Did I pronounce well your name?
Definitely.
How are you, Jackson?
I'm good.
Oh, nice to see you, man.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Why did you play for us?
This is a song called Epongo. Epongo, it's because I'm living out here in Europe, I'm from far, home. Epongo meaning that someone who's lonely, someone who's longing for a place. It's a traditional song, mainly from northern Namibia. My people are called Awambo. They are from the north of Namibia and from the south of Angola. So if you go in Angola to the south, especially Kunene, that's my people.
Wow.
Yeah. And then in the south of Namibia, the north of Namibia, again, it's the same people. So this is a traditional song, but there's one guy who we all kind of admire. He plays guitar at Troubador. Troubador is probably you have them in Mozambique.
Yeah.
These guys who just walk around with a guitar, and you give him some sense, and then he plays a song for you.
So probably it's not his composition.
No, it's not. No,
like
it's
from
Awambo. Although there is one ethnic within Awambo, they are even it's the same language, but they are different again. You see, me, I'm Kwanyama. On Kwanyama, we are more in Angola. Him, the guy who I'm talking about, he's a Mundonga. If you speak, I understand. But there's some
subtle.
So it's the same language, but not the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's but this song, if I sing it, whether in his village where they don't speak like me, they will still sing along.
With
yeah. Then if I sing it in my village or somewhere else, so it's a traditional song for all the Awambo people. They kind of these songs were mainly sung when people are working in the fields, or just doing some traditional work. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us for the people who never heard about you, who is Jackson Wahengo, from where he comes from?
Jackson. Okay. No, I'm from Namibia, as I said. So I was born in Zambia. Yeah, because since from the 50s and 60s and 70s, Namibia was at war with the white apartheid regime which was based in South Africa. And they wanted to make Namibia as part of South Africa, and that's what we're fighting.
Like a province.
Like a province,
South
yeah.
Africa, yeah.
For a long time, they had it as a province.
Yeah.
So we're trying to cut ourselves away and be independent. So my parents and many other youth of the 60s, they went into exile, and mainly in Zambia. They could not go to Zimbabwe, maybe because it was not so easy to get there. They could not go into Angola because Angola was not independent yet. Yeah, the Portuguese were still there. Yeah. So they only passed through Angola, got smuggled through so that they could reach Zambia, because Zambia was independent by then. And Botswana also was independent. Some passed through Botswana, some from Zambia. So I was born in Zambia, and when I was a baby, I was moved to another refugee camp, because then Angola became independent in 1976. So the SWAPO, my movement, created many refugee camps in Angola. Kwanza Sur, that's where I grew up. Okay. Yeah,
so during that period, did you have opportunity to go to school, to play with other kids? Was that a movement that only your parents did, or was kind of the whole country was trying to move forward?
No, it's a whole country. Yeah. It's a whole. That's why we had refugee camps, because it was so many people. It was like an exodus. It's so many people moving out of Namibia. The youth at that time. So it was many people that moved. We had thousands of people in exile. Yeah, mainly in Angola and in Zambia.
So how did you get into the music, to music?
How did I get into music? Sure, that's it's through different things. When we were in the camps, in the refugee camps, we were singing all the time. Yeah, we were singing non-stop because of the revolution. You know, Africans, when they are fighting, they sing. They make songs about war, for motivation. So that's all I can remember since I was a baby, until I was 12 years old, singing.
Like that when the slaves sang the blues.
Yes. Singing was all we did, Then I remember when we came to Namibia for independence, my brother, because in the refugee camp, some kids were taken out and sent to countries that wanted to help. So Cuba, many people went to Cuba. Many went to Czechoslovakia, East Germany, communist countries. So my brother was sent to Cuba, and then when he came back in 1992, he was a musician. He was playing guitar, and I think that's where it became, because not only him was playing, even some of my friends, they were playing as older, but they were older than me. So I would check them, I would try, but it took some time before I picked it up and started playing. But I would say it's from him, because he's my brother, he's my older brother, and I liked everything he did. So I tried to copy,
So you have to share the guitar with him, or you had a chance to have your own guitar?
No, I always played on his guitar. I always played on his guitar, and as he liked it, and sometimes not, because I could not play, and sometimes I would take it out of tune, and he did not like that,
Maybe break a string.
Yeah, break a string as well, And he was living in the capital city while I was living in a small town. So whenever I come, I get a chance to play. But then some of our friends who were living just in a boarding school, which was close to my house, they also had a guitar. They were also playing guitars. Though then I would go there and play on their guitars.
So when did you start to get involved with in a professional level with other musicians, learning to play maybe an electric guitar? When did you get the chance to sit in a bandstand?
My brother was a Rastafarian for a long time, so I quickly became a Rastafarian too. So even when I didn't play electric music or join a band, music was always, I was always practicing, I was always playing, but more like a troubadour, just playing Bob Marley songs and singing. While I was at school, I was known as a guy who's always playing guitar. Always singing Bob Marley songs, anything that I can learn how to sing. And then now and then I remember there was a band that was formed in our school. There was not that much music in our town. So Bands, no, it was not common.
Yeah.
Just you can play guitar, but they were not really bands. We didn't have electric guitars or anything like that. Then one guy, I remember, he was older. He formed a band, and I started playing. I think it was 1995 or 94. But I was playing bass for them. That's the first time I played as a band. We would tour around schools, and I was a bassist. Yeah, and then, but the whole time I was a Rastafarian. I was smoking too much. I thought I was a musician already, you know.
Yeah.
My mother, because I'm a small one, and all my two brothers, they are into music, and they were in the capital city, and they were just playing music with long rastas and smoking a lot. And my mother did not like that.
Yeah.
So she thought me I should change, you know. But I knew that I know already from here.
The calling was
the
there.
calling was already there, you know. So as I finished school, I went straight to the capital city and I joined my brothers. That was 1998. Yeah, that's when I started to get into it.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, but then I also, when I reached the capital city, I also went to, because I did not want to disappoint my mother too much, so I went to the school of music. So I said, okay, I'm studying, but I'm studying music.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So she was a little bit better.
Okay, that's much better.
Yeah.
But I guess that's because of the reference by that time, like how the society used it to see the musicians.
Definitely. No, music. There were not many people, especially in Mozambique. You guys are very advanced musically, very far advanced. In my country, not many people were known to be musicians and living from playing music. No, we only knew music from South Africa or from somewhere else. Luckily, the person who became famous as a musician and really famous and really big, he was our friend. Okay. You see, he was in exile with us, and he was a big reggae artist, and he was very close to us. So, and I think he was also part of our family as well. So, because of seeing that he was famous, he was playing all over radio, he was really big. So my mother kind of felt, okay, maybe this is something I can do. Because he's famous, he's very well known, he's respected, and he comes to our house sometimes, and everybody wants to know him, you know. So I think that made her a little bit soft.
But all that success, he was doing it in Namibia or outside?
In Namibia. Yeah. It was huge in Namibia.
Exactly. So do the young people involved with music on that time had an interest to go like South Africa, to Europe? Was that kind of a dream, a common dream of yours?
No. Musicians, unless to go to Europe, only if you are going to perform, you know. But it was not possible unless going to perform through government. You know, government would sometimes take people to, like this guy I talk about, for cultural exchange. So they would take them there to perform. But not the artists in Namibia. They were satisfied already just at home. They didn't think of moving outside.
So on that time, what were your main influence on guitar, singing? Did you have like a role model that you would like, man, when I grow up I would like to sing or play like that artist?
It's strange because I grew up in Angola and then coming to Namibia, but then because my brother came from Cuba, and then all of a sudden he was singing reggae, wanted to become a reggae artist. And then this big guy Rashi Hammer, who was also a very big huge reggae artist. So the whole time I wanted to be a reggae artist. The whole time. So in Namibia, when you start to play guitar, it's only now that you can find kids starting to play guitar and they just want to solo. No, it was not like that. If you are in a village or in a town, when you pick up a guitar, you have to sing a song. So when I started, I was singing all the time, but I was singing more reggae songs, and just any cool song that was happening and I could learn it. So I was doing that. So, but I would say the role models were more reggae artists, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh. It's very strange. Even this guy who was always our traditional, the song I just played, we respected him so much, but it's like something we didn't really touch. Traditional, it's okay. Reggae, you know. Okay. So it took me a long time before even my brothers, when I went to join them, they were still playing reggae trying to be like our friend who was huge, you know. And we did not become very well known in Namibia until we took 2 songs from this traditional guy, Troubador, because he was very famous, but just cassette songs that would play on radio sometimes. So we took 2 of his songs and we played them as a band.
Yeah.
That's how we became really huge in Namibia, me and my brothers, because for the first time the people are hearing their traditional music played with a band.
Yeah.
That's how and then that's when we started to, okay, so maybe this is the way we should go. Yeah. But it took me a long time before. So when I moved to the capital city, they had a band, but they were just playing bass and the skeng. And then we listened to reggae, and they said, but in reggae there is chuck, and there is bass, there is drum, but that's lead guitar.
Yeah.
Who's going to play that?
Yeah.
Then Jackson, you can play that. Yeah. And then I went to school. Yeah, you tell your teacher to teach you this. Yeah. Then that's how I gravitated to lead. And then the guy who was teaching me guitar, he was a jazz guitarist. I did not know anything about jazz. And then, but it's him who. The first thing that guy gave me is a book of Pat Martino.
Oh.
I did not know anything about.
you were just seeing like black dots on the paper.
Yeah. He said, get this.
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah, and then I was practicing those lines. It was strange, and I did not understand nothing. I don't know chord changes. I don't know anything. So, and my band, they did not like it because they don't understand the lines. You can't understand Pat Martino lines. No, you cannot understand those lines.
At some point, were you trying to apply that approach into reggae music?
Yes, I was trying to, because I was practicing a lot, like major scale, pentatonic, anything, you know. And then I was just running around with it. And then when I got that from my teacher, he said, you should play that, you know. And I liked that guy a lot. He was very good. He's a white guy, Namibian. And then he said, yeah, you should employ that. But it was difficult. I didn't manage. No, I did not. Even if I tried, no, it didn't work. If I liked it, the guys didn't like it. But those notes, we don't understand those.
It was the different of the reggae language.
Yeah. Reggae language, you play the blues is good. It works. Rock and roll, it works. You know, African it works. But anything else, it's you really have to understand what you're doing. To make it work.
So when did you move to study at the University of Cape Town?
Yeah, because I moved to the capital city, Windhoek, 1998. Everything moved very fast because then I thought I was very old because I got there, I was 21. And then I was just playing Bob Marley songs, you know, No Woman No Cry, Redemption songs, only here, you know. I hardly knew bar chords, you know, but I was really good in what I knew what to do. So I had to learn very fast. My teacher gave me scales because the band said you must learn how to play that T, the lead. So I told my teacher I want to play this. He said, yeah, but you have to get. So I practiced scales a lot, and I practiced a lot. Night and day, 10 hours every day, sometimes 8 hours, because there was nothing to do, you know, just practicing. And then all of a sudden I was playing lead. I was everybody, Jackson, the lead guitar, because there are not many. Namibia is small, you know. There are not many people, especially my ethnic. There's not anybody. There's only one guy who was playing in one band, in a SWAPO political party band. It was really good, Sungura stuff, you know. But otherwise, there's no. So it took me maybe 2 years, and then I could play. I could play very well, and then I think after that I was started to teach as well, to teach part time in the school where I was studying music to teach guitar. Because my teacher, there were many students and there's only one teacher, so he said I can teach the beginners. And then he had to leave. So and then I said, but I also want to improve, you know. I want to play more jazz now because he influenced me. He gave me a lot of chords and that Pat Martino, Joe Pass stuff. And then he said, but if you want to learn, you have to go to South Africa. And then that's how I find out about UCT. I applied. I sent them a video of me playing. I think I played Autumn Leaves and I was quite good at it. With the Pat Martino lines he gave me, I kind of break them down and then just play them on some solos. And then I got in. I think it was 2003 I went there. That's the same year everybody came there. Cabral, Júlio, I think who's this?
Bass player?
No, the guitarist.
Dino
Miranda. Dino was already there.
Yeah.
Dino was already there. Elder came a year later. Yeah, he came a year later. I think he found us there. He was not there when I came there, I think.
Yeah. So what was the environment when you go there? Did you had like were you mesmerized? Like, man, this is another story.
Coming to UCT was not only because of UCT, it was because of Jimmy. Jimmy Dludlu was big that year, 2003, 2002, 2001. He was big in Southern Africa, so everybody was listening to him. Everybody wanted to play like him, And then I heard he was also at UCT. So as people heard that from my country, I'm going to UCT, he's going to play like Jimmy now, And so as soon as you come there, I was practicing a lot, and I'm coming from Namibia where everybody thought I was really good. And I was good. Those Pat Martino lines, I could play them like, and really fast, So when I came there, almost when you come to UCT, many new people like Júlio who can play, they don't want to play too much, They're just there with their guitars, just looking to see me. I come there like, I just want to play with everybody, I came there because I thought I did not understand much, and because the whole environment, it was beautiful. It was guitars every time. It was saxophone players. It was, and we have this Selailo was also there, So and I could play a lot of Jimmy Dludlu songs as well, because in Namibia then apart from playing with my reggae band, there was another band that was very well known to be very technical. So they asked me to play with them. And if you play with these guys, then they say you are good. So I played with them. So going to UCT, I thought I was really good. Because you're coming from a small country where everybody thought you were good. I thought I was boom. So when I came there, I remember I came into one room, I found the Mozambique and Click. It was Júlio, it was your brother, Dino. It was Dino's room, I think, because Dino was there. They were all quiet, sitting, nobody wanted to play, I took my guitar out, I started playing. And then Júlio took his guitar, playing chords for me. I started playing my lines, showing off, They were like,
the dude can play.
He can play. But the problem is that I could play not much, I could play very good in one key.
You had some limitations.
I had some limitations because jazz, you have to understand the chord changes, I could play very, very, very good. I could run around in one key, or just 2-5-1s that are quite long, not these two that are very fast, So I realized very fast that I was very far, that I could not really do what what is needed to be done. But UCT, it was a beautiful environment anyway, and many people didn't make it there because you see, it's like a boot camp. It's like a boot camp. It's like they'll kill you in there. It's like you are going for this military training, the hardest one. UCT is like that. You play or you go out.
I'm quite sure some people go with certain expectations. And when they face the reality, things become.
And the first thing they tell you is that the first class we had asked, do you know that because UCT is not only about music, it's a big university where doctors, engineers, everything. Music is actually a small part, college. So they ask us that, do you know that you are studying jazz guitar or jazz music, whatever, that your future is not certain, not like your friends who are now up there studying to be a doctor
or engineer.
The engineer, when they finish, they have a job. But you, when you finish, you have to create something. If people like it, then you can make it. So do you really want to do this? So you have to think twice. So many people, they change to teaching. You can do a guitar diploma, but it's a teaching diploma. It's not the same like what I did, what your brother did. I think your brother, me and Júlio did performance.
Yes.
Your brother was also doing performance, and then he changed it. I think he stayed longer.
Yeah.
Cabral stayed longer. So we did performance, and performance you can't teach anywhere unless you are good that people just want you to teach them. Like everybody want to learn from Benson. Yeah, because he can play. But you can't teach because you don't have a teaching diploma. Yeah.
Okay. So at that point, who is the musician that really impressed you in Cape Town? Not just inside the UCT environment, but the whole city. Is there anyone that you went out to check a concert and he blew your mind by that time?
No, not many. At that time, it was just Jimmy who was playing.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to play like Jimmy.
Yeah.
But when we came to UCT, it was a different awakening. Because I remember the guitar teacher, a good friend of mine, Daryl Andrews, he did not like Jimmy. You know, he was Jimmy's teacher, but he did not like Jimmy because when Jimmy came to UCT, he could already play what he's playing. You know, and that is fusion. It's like just good guitar playing. It's not standards. You know, and the way he played, Jimmy has a way of playing. He uses mainly only these two fingers.
Yeah.
You see. And they want you to use all the fingers and they want you to have positions and all this stuff they teach you, you know. Nah, Jimmy, you know, he was already doing what he was doing. He was already big. He was even more popular than the teachers that are teaching him. Yeah, because by then he already played with the Brenda Fassis, played everywhere. So it's when we came there we were like, oh, Jimmy, but the teachers were like, no. Here you have to play this and this and this. Don't do the Jimmy stuff. Yeah, maybe Selailo is better. They liked Selailo better because when Selailo came there, he could not play. Yeah, he came there just learning, and then he learned everything there. You can hear when he play. You can hear his very
jazz accent.
Very jazz accent. That he's trying to follow the rules. He's trying to do, but Jimmy he plays his own thing, you know. So when I came there, we were all really just listening to Jimmy and. Good players were people like not Cabral. Cabral is good, but people like Júlio. Júlio was
something
else completely. And he was and he's playing not with a pick, but only with his fingers. But he was something else. Cabral understood the guitar. He understood the jazz language. He understood everything. It's like we would be in class learning stuff and then like theory and stuff, and then we wouldn't follow. We just wait until the class finish and then we go to Cabral. We copy from him because he was very disciplined. Everything he does is like, so we copy from him and then now this is but and then there was a guy called Kunle. Kunle came a little bit later. You know Kunle?
No.
It's a Nigerian guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he came a
guitar player?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen some videos of him on social media.
He's good. He's good. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
The Benson stuff, you know. Yeah, Benson he's good. He's really good. He came and he was making some noise. Yeah, and then this guy that he played with, but he was living in Pretoria or Durban, I think. This colored guy. What's his name again? He played on the album. Annie Smith.
Ernest Smith.
Yeah. He also came out with a brilliant album that year.
Child of the Light.
There's a song, only one song I remember. Lonely. Yeah, that song came out that time. It was big, and I remember he would come from Durban to perform. We went to see him actually, me and Cabral and Júlio. He was playing in some club there. He was good. He was hot that time. It was. I see him playing now. I think he have relaxed now. Not anymore. Yes, he's
more laid back.
Yeah, he's laid back now. He's that time he even used to play with the pick. Now he's just he was really playing good too. That time.
So Jackson, being in that environment, checking all these guys, mainly Jimmy by that time, and you have some controversies between what your teachers used to think about him. Did you set like your own perspective of what was going on that environment? Did you took your own conclusions like, okay, jazz is good for the academical and the intellectual part, but maybe I can manage maybe 50% of the school, 20% of Jimmy. Maybe I can blend it all. Did you come up with your own conclusion how you could make it, musically speaking?
No, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It's you see, it's tough. You know, it's tough. I know people who got out of that university, who came there very energetic, and they just stopped without finishing. They just became sick. You know, the whole environment, if you're not strong, it will make you sick. Because everybody, you are grilled. You have to do this. You have to do this. It have to be like this. You know, and I did not. Until I finished, I was just practicing and to make sure that I pass my degree, my diploma, and I get out of there, you know, and I go back home. It's I was just practicing and practicing just to be able to play. And luckily there were other people, musicians, like a guy called Bebe from Congo, who used to play a lot at bars, and I would play guitar for his band. He's also a very good guitar player. Luckily, I kind of never really went too far away from African music. I would always try to learn my kwasakwasas. You see, I would always try to learn Jimmy's lines, the way he plays. Jimmy is very clever in playing also the traditional stuff, you know. I would also try to learn those things, you know, just to learn to play, just to be busy, you know. But no, I was lost, just like everybody, you know, just like everybody trying to find your voice, and trying to, and many of us got out from that place thinking that we can't play, you know, because if you can't play the changes and the speed that they're playing, then you won't play, you know. And many of us, and it's very difficult for many. For me, I was lucky that I played a lot with different bands. I played also with Tuken.
Yeah.
When Valde came there to play, because Júlio used to play for Tuken. And then when he joined Freshy Ground, they did not have a guitar player. So then Valde, he took her from Mozambique to play for them. And then I think I jumped with him one day, and then he said, no, you should play. So I played for them, but they also, Tuken was playing a lot of fusion and a lot of difficult stuff as well. Frank liked to, you know, this show of stuff, you know. So I played with them. I was lucky that I managed. With music and music school, you have to be busy. If you are just in a class practicing, it will destroy you. You know, you have to get out there, and even just easy stuff, you know, you have to play, and then in a way you will find your own voice. It took me a very long time. I'm still searching. We'll search forever, you know. I'm still searching, but I think I'm happy now that I think I kind of know what I want to do. When I finished university, I went back to Namibia. Although before I went to UCT, I was playing with my brother's reggae band. We were big in Namibia, you know, we were big with our traditional music as well. When I come back, I couldn't play. You know, it's my brothers. We crash a lot as well as family. So I would play with them sometimes. Then I made my own band.
After UCT.
After UCT, but I didn't play jazz. I started then to sing and try to find my voice again when I started to play music. You know, I just went back and said, okay, now let me think of me as a troubadour as I used to be, just singing and playing. It took me a long time, because when I came to the capital city in '98, the guys told me to play lead guitar. Then I was just playing lead. So many people did not know me as a singer, you know, in the capital city. So from '98 until all those years, I was just known as a lead guitar player, you know. So when I started to sing again, people are like, he's trying to sing, this one he cannot sing, you know. But they didn't know me, but I knew myself better, you know. So then when you sing, then you also try to play a guitar in a different way that can accommodate the songs you are singing or the songs you are writing. Then that kinds of, just first of all, it makes you believe that you are doing something. You see, you are creating something new, you know. And then over what you are creating, then okay, I cannot just sing, you know, I can play guitar on the singing stuff, you know. then the whole world just opened up, you know. Yeah, but it's that's a good question. It's difficult for when you come to a music school. It's very difficult to find your voice. Yeah.
So when did you start to to compose and create your own music?
That was in 2006. Yeah.
After UCT years?
After UCT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I went to UCT, I think I've composed not many. I composed a few riffs and maybe few singing stuff, but not much. Just ideas. But after UCT, yes, that's when I really even put a band together. And as soon as I started, it just went boom, because I started, and because I was very well known already as a guitar player, I had people that wanted to listen to me. So as soon as I started to write, I had to make sure that I have enough songs. So it just came boom. I just write, play, write. Yeah.
So did you feel by that period that your jazz background, your reggae background came into the compositions you were coming up with at some point?
No, jazz, I would say yes, because then I understood harmony. You know, I understood. I had a little understanding of what to do, and I would incorporate some lines or some melodies or some phrases into the stuff that I was doing. But everything was really just hammering, just trying. I have to make a song. I have to make a song. I have to do this. I have to do this. The reggae did not much, because in reggae band I was mainly just playing blues, you know, and playing the major scales and stuff.
And today you talk about how frustrating can be to go to the university to learn all those lines, and when you finish, you get your diploma, you feel like, okay, but I still don't sound the way I expected to sound. Because there are many jazz challenging jazz standards, like jazz steps and the moments notes and all that stuff. It's okay. It's like, okay, I can play some, but I can't play the whole standards. So Jackson, share with the people out there about what we were talking before we start our interview. We talk about George Benson, how good guitarist he is, and when he first came, when he was in his early years, he could burn that guitar playing jazz riffs and all that stuff. But at some point, he became like a pop, pop artist, like an R&B singer, and some people know him much as a singer than a guitarist. So what's your thoughts about how things have gone until we know the Benson that we know? Some people used to say, I mean, Benson should record like a trio album. That should be amazing for the jazz community. But he's still doing his music to please as much people as he can. Could you share some thoughts about that kind of career perspective?
Look, I remember one interview where Benson said, there are so many good jazz players, but they are not heard. You see, he said the good guitar players, they are not heard. You see, because they play in a small bar somewhere. You know, they are not known. Radios won't play them. You know, that's a secret. Benson could play like that. Do you know that today, when Pat Martino died 2 years ago, you know, there was a fund, Raise Me Fund, when he was in the hospital. You see, Pat Martino is brilliant.
Even Benson recognized.
Him. They see, but you see, that's it. That is the secret right there. You know, if you can play very good jazz, but you have to pay rent. You have to be able to pay yourself when you are sick in the hospital, you know, and if you're playing, although it's good, can't afford you that, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
You see. So Benson, that's what he did. He took the way that can sustain him and give him money, not only enough for food, but also enough for his kids and his generations. And that's how we should live, understand? We want to provide for ourselves, for our children, and if possible for our grandchildren as well, you know. And Benson first, he saw the opportunity, I can play for 1,000 people. If I play jazz, I can only play for, maybe if I'm lucky, it's 50 people. If I'm lucky, if they come to a bar that can fit 50 people. But if I sing, and I can do it, you know, if I sing, I can play for 100 people, even more. Now, of course, you know, there's no way you can. If you can do it, why not do it? You know. They asked him one day, that Benson, why do you play so fast? He said, because I can.
Yeah, and he really.
Yeah,
he
he said,
really
because
can.
I can, you know. Yeah, so if he can sing, why can you not sing if you can sing? And if people like to hear you sing, of course he'll do it. You know, I'll do it. Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
So there is also from an interview I saw from Benson. This is coming a little bit Benson talking,
it's okay,
but I think it's important to learn with the
great
masters,
yes,
from the greats.
Yeah.
So you say that if you put something that people want to hear, people will buy your records.
Definitely.
Do you agree?
I definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. Look, even when Benson is only playing guitar, I remember the Pat Martino. It took Pat Martino a long time to use this R&B drums that Benson liked to use. You know, from the 60s or 70s, Benson is already. But while Pat Martino for many years, you know, it took Pat for a long time for him to make an album using those drums. You know, so even when Benson is playing. So people will say, I love Benson, you know, guitar. Because it's not because he's playing the lines that we understand. You know, it's because he's playing those, you know, those fusion kind of, that kind of jazz, which the jazz guitar players, mainly jazz, traditional guys don't like. Nah, that is not jazz, you know. But that is what means people like that, you know. That's why many people like this guy, Brown. What's his name again? Norman Brown. He came with that. He was very big on that too. But that is it's Benson who started that. And then everybody kind of followed. So even within the jazz language, Benson took a road which the people will understand. You know, even when he's not singing, he's not playing this straight ahead jazz, which many people might not understand. You know, he's playing this jazz that Cape Townians like. You know,
So there's something I have noticed that jazz players are very rooted with the tradition. We try to learn from it, like the jazz from the 40s, the bebop language, swing, and all the types of jazz. But it's like we don't realize when to get rid of it, like leave it behind and create something new. When I see other genres of music, like hip hop, they don't keep learning how Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg wrote a hip hop standard. Then don't try to make like 100 versions of Still Dre. You know. So how did you realize that? Okay, I learned it, but I have to write my own music and try to make myself known with my creativity.
That one comes when you perform. When you perform, first you create something, and then it moves you. This is nice, you know. And then you play it for the people, and then people like it, you know. Then you start to see, okay, maybe this is the direction I should take. You see, but that's a very difficult question to answer. You see, and it's how you communicate with the people and how they communicate with your music, how they react to it, you know. um, that's basically it. But you made a point that music is evolving, is changing, and if you don't want to change, then yes, you'll have a certain market, but it will be very limited. You see, it will be a very very limited market. It's like classical music, which is just for certain people, you know. um, Music will it's you have to be, first of all, you have to work very hard. That everybody should. You have to be lucky. You see, these two things have to meet, you know. But you have to be prepared. You have to be highly prepared in whatever you do. But it's very difficult to find the right thing. You see, it's very difficult to know what is the right thing.
We never know.
Yeah,
We never know.
it's very difficult, you know. I think just play and play and do your thing and push and hope that it works out.
Yeah. I guess maybe Jimmy didn't didn't have a conscience that his music could be like a boom on that time when he came with his first album or
Jimmy, I think, you see, Jimmy, like everybody else, we all try to learn. There's something, a quote I wrote, that nothing is created, everything is invented. It's recreation.
Yeah.
You see, Jimmy, like anybody else, I don't think even Jimmy will not say I'm lying if I say he's not original. Nobody's original, you know. Everybody started trying to be like somebody else. Jimmy probably said, okay, first, before even Benson, he was maybe, I like this rock thing, you know. Then we all came from there, you know. Then I like this bakanga kind of playing, you know. And then Benson, wow, this is cool, you know. And then you try it, and then, oh, I can do this, you see. But Jimmy has so many things. Jimmy has a touch of Benson, you know, but he has also too much African. That's what made him so special, you know. So, and that time, that there were not many people playing that stuff, you know. You find there were people playing guitar, but they're just playing melodies over and over and over. He came with really solos, man, you know, something, this is real solos, someone playing, you know. So, and he had African, and he had the whole what we call jazz, mainly from Benson kind of stuff, pentatonic and stuff, and it's working. We liked it.
He blended
it all
and became something unique.
Definitely. And he's in South Africa. South Africa at that time, it was a melting pot, you know. It's a melting pot. Everybody was there, wanted to go there. Their music, you know, it's a mix of many things. It's a mix of jazz, that old jazz, you know. So it's he was at the right place in the right time. Because that time nobody was playing guitar. Until today, I don't think there are anybody really that came up with albums like that.
So we have to be prepared.
Yes.
So when the opportunity comes, you are
you
are ready.
Oh,
right?
man, you have to be so prepared, because Jimmy was highly prepared. He was playing. If Brenda Fassie is looking for a guitar player, it's Jimmy. You know, he was playing for all this, all this, you know, and he would listen to this guy, like this guy that was playing with Hugh Masekela, the old guy from Joburg.
Guitarist?
Yeah, guitarist, old guy, I think.
Temba,
yeah. Jimmy would listen to all the. He's very clever, you know. Those guys are playing beautiful stuff, and Jimmy would listen to them and would take these things and make them his own, you know. And maybe Temba would get angry if Jimmy does that, but no, you don't have to get angry. If you play, if a kid listen to my song and learn something from it, they will create something from what they learn. You see, that's how we learn. For a child to speak, they learn from people around them. That's how we learn. Nobody's original. You see, it depends on how you take something and you make it your own. You see, so, and Jimmy was very good at that. Many people came. Selilo came and learned how to play really good, but he never managed.
Yeah.
You know, he did his own thing and he's still doing well. He sings well and is known, you know. But Jimmy did very good.
Yeah.
You know, he did very, very good, especially at that time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jackson, we have been known for quite some time,
Yeah.
but we use it to communicate just through social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
And today is one of those days where I really get the opportunity to talk to you, and you share your experience with me and the people out there. So when I see yourself, I see a man with a beautiful soul. I'm gonna explain why. Before this interview, you also talk about the day when Freshly Ground was looking for a guitarist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you kindly said, "No, man, there is the right guy to fill that position."
Yeah.
So, what makes you act like that? Because sometimes we are so selfish. We are just thinking about us. No, man, I can do that. There is no problem. I can do that. But you kindly, you lift others.
Yeah.
So what's your philosophy behind it?
Well, look, because if I see something good, I'll say it's good. You see, if I go to a place that is having good music, then I come out and then I find you on the street and you are looking for a place with good music, I'll tell you, go there. You know, there it's happening there. I knew Júlio could play, you know, but also, it was also me at that time. I did not have that much confidence, you see, and I just came to Cape Town and I was overwhelmed by the whole situation. That I just thought I should immerse myself, I should bury myself in schoolwork and not take anything else. You see, that's why I gave that opportunity to Júlio to take that. I think if someone is good, you should tell them they are good. You see, and you should give them the opportunity if you have the chance to do that. I think that's how everybody should. But that thing with Júlio, I don't think it's because I was a good person. I think I was more kind of scared to step up. You know, I just wanted to, as I said, I just wanted to bury myself in schoolwork, and I wanted to someone else to do it. Yeah, and I could have asked Cabral to do it, but Cabral that time did not play anything else. You know, Cabral that time did not play much of anything else. He played more. Cabral can study any jazz song and find his way through that song. You know, that time, because that time we had to practice a lot. You know, but he was not really playing anything else. You could not give him a kwasa kwasa song to play, or just a simple rock and roll. You know, he would struggle a little bit because he was more straight ahead. Yeah, focused on jazz. Yeah. That's why that time the only person I could choose was Júlio, I think.
So that's interesting.
And also, but when I saw your playing, I followed you a long time, as you said. I was surprised, like, how do you play like that? How is it possible, you know? Because the only person I knew from Mozambique who could play guitar that way was Júlio. Maybe not anymore. Maybe you don't know Júlio. You don't know. Maybe you just know him now. You never really heard him those years. You know. Now he changed a little bit, maybe, but he still plays. Yeah, he still really can play. But when I heard you playing, I said no. You managed to get what we could not get. None of us could get that. You know. We tried and practiced and. Well, the only person I knew is Júlio could play. Júlio can play giant step, can play anything, man, and playing, having fun, you know. For us, it's like if I'm playing that, I'm like, why is it? Júlio can play, you know. You can see he's comfortable, you know. Don Ali, you know, he's playing, he won, you know. But when I heard you play, I said, yo, how did you get that? You know, how did you? And then I heard you live. I went to see you, you know. Still, I said, yo. now this is someone that found the secret, you know,
Oh,
which
thank
we have
you.
been trying to find for many years, and we did not manage.
Oh, thank
We
you.
didn't. No, we didn't. And again, another one is the way you hold your pick. You use a small pick, and
Yeah.
you hold the pick like very traditional, you know, like your brother. You hold the pick like a brother. Is it him who taught you how to do that?
Not so much, because when I started to play, was the time that Cabral was moving to Cape Town.
Okay.
I started to play lately, because many people used to start when they are young. So I didn't have that chance to see Julinho and Cabral perform, but he helped me a lot. What you use it to study there, he used it to say, hey man, check this out. Those Pat Metin lines, I have to check this out. So I embraced it myself, and I was lucky because I am from that YouTube era, which you didn't have back on that time. So I had access of information, you know. You told me that you came from a small town, and you only realized that okay, I play good for the small town, but for the world I still have a lot to grow.
Definitely.
So people that have access to YouTube, man, you can see like Japanese kids kicking asses. So you have it's like, oh, okay, so this is how the world is. So man, you have to train yourself to face the world.
Definitely.
Yeah, so maybe I was lucky, and maybe I had great mentors and influence of the older brothers who did it before me. So I'm quite sure it helped a lot. So, but today the interview is about you, no? Not about me. So Jackson, after all these years of Namibia, Cape Town, then you moved to Europe. How did you manage to create networking, starting maybe from zero? You probably you didn't know that many people, many musicians. How did you connect? How did you come up playing your music with the musicians from Europe?
So when I moved here, I moved to Europe mainly because of my ex-wife. Because in Namibia, I got married in Namibia 2006. Our daughter was born the same year, and then the same year she managed to get a job to work for the UN in Geneva, Switzerland. That's why we moved there. Before that, I was in Namibia. My band was growing. I was starting to grow, and I was teaching at the College of Music. So I resigned, and we moved together. And I think also that moving to Europe, to a new country where I had to start everything all over, you know. So what I did, I used to go to jam sessions, jazz jam sessions, just to listen to guys, and then I would jam a little bit, you know. And then when I jam at jam sessions, because that time I was already writing my own music, I wouldn't jam standards. I would just play my own songs, and the guys would follow me. And then I would speak to the guys, and then they say, let's play together, you know. That's how I started to play with them. And then I just look for places. I look for musicians, and then I ask, okay, which place do you play? You know, friends. I make friends first. And then I see, okay, where do these guys play? And then I apply to play the same place. That's how it goes. You know, you just see where first you go around to a music place and you check. You meet people, you talk to them. You know, you jam with them. They become your friends, and then you see where they play. And then if I think my music can fit here, then that's how I applied. Then I started to search. Also, my ex-wife was helping a lot. Then that's how I started to play over and over.
So is there any difference you see between the African audience and the European audience as a lead musicians?
European audience and African audience. Sure. You see, for European audience is that when we, especially you and me, when we bring our music, which is slightly different, they appreciate a lot because it's something new, you know, it's something from a different world, you see. But if we're at home playing this music, for people that know the music, it's also different, you know, because they know the music, they feel it a different way, you know. It's a very interesting perspective. I wouldn't say it's good both ways. It's good at home because they understand what you're doing. It's good here because they want to know what you're doing. They don't understand it. That's why they are more like they're curious. Yeah. So that's a difference.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. But at home, it's a lot. I think it's the same in Mozambique, South Africa, Namibia, everywhere. Even here, there's a lot of this new kind of music coming up. The youngsters are into that. But again, you also find the youngsters also want to listen to something that is more like roots, you see, but you see, not too old, but also not just something that is they're traditional. You also find the youth that are into that, So there's a market for everybody. Yeah. As long as I said before, as long as you keep working your thing, when the opportunity comes,
you are ready.
You are ready. Yeah. Yeah.
So we are getting close to the end of this conversation. I would like to ask you to share with the youngster, some advice about this career that sometimes we as musicians we choose, but sometimes I think music choose the artists, the musicians.
Yeah.
So would you like to share some advice for young people coming up, how to be in this music scene and making a living through it?
Yeah, that's a tough one. As I said before, just work. If you feel like you like what you're doing, and you feel like you're creating something you want to listen to, you enjoy listening to. Me, when I'm writing a song, I record myself, so that I don't forget. First of all, to remind myself, because if you have an idea and then you don't record it, tomorrow you probably might not remember it. You are lucky if you remember it. So I record myself, and sometimes when I listen, I say, I like this. I listen over and over. I say, this is dope, man. So if you have that, and then work hard and harder, that's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way, because and still you might still struggle, you see, even if you work hard and you are good but the chance is very big that you will make it, if you do all those things, that you work on your ideas and you work very well, and then you try to learn more things and then try to put around there and just work and cut out everything else that is not necessary. Then the chances are you'll suffer, you struggle, like all of us are struggling doing other jobs, but if opportunity comes, you will, you will definitely. There's no two ways about it.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome,
muito obrigado a todos. Hoje foi mais uma conversa aqui com o grande guitarrista, cantor, compositor de Namíbia, Jackson Wahengo, que partilhou a sua experiência, a sua trajetória de vida, contato com a música, e deixou aqui alguns conselhos valiosos para músicos, compositores e artistas que certamente podem tirar proveito desta partilha. Por hoje é tudo. Vemos numa outra ocasião com mais convidados aqui no Talking Jazz. Se você ainda não se subscreveu ao meu canal, por favor, faça-o e partilhe este vídeo com mais amigos que possível. Por hoje é tudo e até já.
Shura
kanakanje magani shura turare pungwe kwetu kandeta kukurire pungwe kwetu nando furom logo na nipite pu kandeta kukurire pungwe kwetu nando furom logo na nipite pu magani shura turare kanakanje Furam logo na nipite pu magani shura turare kanakanje